Hi, Energized Ghost coming to you with another video. And some of the things that often come to my mind is, what it is that people can do, what people do to and use their time and energy doing. I heard somewhere that what you spend your time and energy doing is what you care about most. And one of the things I tend to think about is not only things that I can do because I believe I'm a part of the evolution process, but in evolving, I feel like I need to learn or always learn something new every day. That way, I can not only become the better me, but in becoming the better me, I can also help people become the better them. And so in doing so, I was looking at a video. I had time to look at a video, and the video was kind of coming to me or blowing my mind a little bit because, in the interest of questioning everything, I tend to think about what is it that you can do to create a mindset that you do so. Because we live in a state in which we are constantly doing things, and we're in this sort of, I would call it like the gerbil or the hamster that's in that wheel inside the cage, where they're spending a lot of energy and they're doing a lot, but they're not really going anywhere. And eventually, after a while, that little animal gets tired and then comes off of it. But then for whatever reason, it seems like his brain is programmed to get back on it and is spinning that little wheel. Now I think about it in regards to what it is that we do, and and spending this time away. I mean, I've been here and where I live for a while, and it's the first time we spent that much time away from home, and it allowed me to think and kind of get into what it is that we do in regards to repetition, and yet we tend to want to see things change, but not really understand or know what it is that we do to change. And a couple of things came to mind. One that came to mind was something that I found out about was called the spatial reality. And that is that spatial reality and where the place where you live and what you do and where you go. I mean, if the lights were off or the power goes out, you probably can navigate your household and go wherever it is because you're used to where everything is. And if you, in the morning, if you want to get your clothes together as you're getting ready to leave the house, you know which drawer to get all the clothing that you need to get. You know where the closet is, and you know where the bathroom is, and all those things. And a lot of times you do it without thinking because you've done it so many times, it's become a part of your reality. So it existed within your spatial reality, but someone who does not know where those things are, they were to come to your home and ask you for, I don't know, something to drink, you know exactly where to get the glass from, where to get the drink from, and be able to give them what it is that they're looking for. And so it also allowed me to think, well, then how is it that we take that or, stop not take it for granted, but use that in a way of expanding and learning more and using more of our brain, things that we don't use that much of. And so, as I'm learning, I came up across something called Inquisition. Inquisition. Now, pay attention because this is something that when I came across, I'm thinking, okay, there's a lot of things we like to have that will move or do whatever it wants to on its own and be able to help us be driven in a manner in which is not a lot of effort, but being able to do something whenever we are stuck or need to be able to use that as a means to be able to navigate whatever it is we're trying to do. One of the things I think about is whenever I see people, they always seem to be drained or drug out or whatever it is, and don't know what it is that can get them moving. But Inquisition is one of those things that can help you. Now, in my research, I found that there are various states of consciousness that we're always in. Some of them that I've looked at before, back in the past, when I was learning and trying to understand, how this thing that we have called brain works, was how is it that we're able to do the things that we're doing? We're able to live and think and learn and navigate and do all the things that we need to do. And one of the things I found out in level of consciousness was when you have, like, for example, if you had the heightened state of fear that I found out was the highest state of consciousness. And then you have the lowest state of consciousness, which is, of course you go to sleep, but below sleep is coma. Of course, when you go out of a coma, you can either go into a higher state, which you go into, say, sleep, and then you can wake up, or you can go below coma. Of course, after coma is death. I mean, you're in such a low state, you're no longer here. The body is no longer alive, and there's nothing you can do with that. And so I'm thinking, well, because we have these states of consciousness, what is it that we do with them? I mean, I know that it helps us be able to navigate our lives, do our jobs, to be able to, spend time with our families and focus on those things that we care about. So going back to this understanding of auto-inquisition, we have various states of our brain that will help us become useful and be able to kind of use this auto-inquisition. And in using auto-inquisition, you use it to be able to go from various states. Now, everything, when you understand science, vibrates. If you understand how atoms and molecules and the electrons around the neutrons and protons, you know that they all are moving. And that chemical composition composed of everything that exists, even the air that you're breathing right now. So it's always vibrating. And so just like that's always vibrating, there are neurons that are moving in your brain from one state to the next that causes your brain to go from one state to the other. And I'm gonna kind of break these down as quickly as I can to try to help you understand how you can tap into that and use it for whatever it is you want to use it for. I mean, as kids, you're asked, okay, so what do you want to grow up and be? Or what is it that you want to do? And then you become an adult and wonder, well, what happened? What bump in the road did I hit? Or what pathway did I take that I did not go in and be able to do what it is that I said I want to do as a kid, but as an adult, I'm doing something completely different. I'm going a whole other way that I didn't know that was going to happen, but somehow in this path, I start taking that way. And then now that I'm here, this is not the direction I want to go in, but there's something else I want to do. So how do I change that? Well, you have various levels. You have brainwaves. Brainwaves are electric energy that's going on in your brain. It's allowing me, like right now as I'm talking to you, to be able to let you see not only my mouth moving, the air going through my lungs, be able to create sound, to be able to speak a language that you understand, but able to see my facial emotions and my eyes and my movements and everything. It's all being controlled by my brain. And so right now, the state that I'm in can be compared anywhere between a state of called gamma or beta. Now, gamma is being that heightened sense. It's that small brainwave. They're measured in hertz. And the hertz, the way that they measure this, they use something, they measure brainwaves. It's going to do something called the EEG. You may have heard of it before because of people who may have had a stroke, or some of our loved ones who've gotten old and they're going into stages of dementia and eventually into Alzheimer's. And they try to find out what's going on with their brain. So maybe there's something they can do to maybe help change their state to get them back to where it is that we appreciated them when they were in their normal state of being. But getting back to what it is that I'm talking about is that you got gamma, which is the heightened, you have beta, that's your normal state of consciousness. In this other state, just below beta, which is in your subconscious called alpha. And in that alpha state, there's a lot of things that happen that go on regarding creativity to be able to help you be able to manifest whatever it is. And in order to access that, you have to use something called auto-inquisition to be able to get there. Now, there's various methods that you can use. Some use meditation, others use, prayer, or whatever it is. But you get to that state, and when you're in that state, that's where your subconscious is. Remember, I was talking about that spatial reality, where in that subconscious, how you're able to do things and navigate and do all the things that you do to be able to go, move around in your house and know what everything is. When you go to work, the space where you work at, where you keep all of your pens, your tape, your stapler, and all those things, and how to use them in your everyday activity. But when you go into that alpha state, now in that alpha state, you got to do things in that alpha state. In my research, I found out that Thomas Edison, whenever he was getting to a place where he really had a hard time getting to understanding, when he was in that beta state, in that state of consciousness, where he was trying to figure out, well, how do I do this? It was stated that he would take a seat in his chair, his favorite relaxing chair, just quiet, no one around. He would take these two metal balls and circle them, and he would do them, and he would have a metal bowl underneath these balls as they circle them. Now what happens is, while he's focusing on turning these balls will then drop into this ball and wake him back up. Because what he was doing was, he was methodically getting into that alpha state where his subconscious exists. But while he was doing that, he kept repeating and kept stating, not only verbally, but mentally, the question that he was stating, so that he can get his subconscious to be able to give him the answers that he was looking for. And then when he will start to fall into that alpha state, of course, after that alpha is that theta state, where again, it's that state where you're about to fall asleep. And in between that alpha and theta state of consciousness, he would get the answers that he was looking for out of his subconscious. Isn't that amazing? And so when I think about this, I talk about things about people getting energy and having an energy and having an attitude and all these other things. I'm thinking, wow, this is a very useful thing of using this auto inquisition, that if you want the energy that you're looking for, because you have to deal with so much. Again, you're talking about your family and or your work and all these other things, and you really are just drained, not physically, but it impacts you physically because of all the things that you do. You could use this auto inquisition to say, look, where can I get the energy? I need this energy. I need to find this energy. You could use the same method. I mean, why reinvent the wheel? You could use the same method that Thomas Edison used when he asked his subconscious what it is that he needed, so that he can get the answer to what he was looking for. Whatever it is that you're looking for, whether it's manifested success or whatever it is that you're trying to find, you can do that. And by taking yourself out of that beta, going down into alpha, into theta, and then in doing so, now if you go into delta, you sleep. And then what happens is, in that inquiry, you can find yourself going into delta, but because you've taken that alpha and the delta, the theta, and you have influenced it with that auto inquisition by stating what it is that you want to happen. Now you can change that spatial reality and take that auto inquisition. Auto, of course, meaning inquisition, inquiring, asking, questioning, and keep stating that. And that what you're looking for, you will find it in that alpha and theta state. Sometimes it can even influence the delta. Now, I'm going to end with saying this. There was a time when I was in business, and because I needed people, prospects, to be able to grow my business, I had such a desire for this business that every night I went to sleep, all I could do was think about was flying. And as I'm flying, all I seen was people just sitting, and there was an opportunity for me to be able to speak to them and give them something that they're looking for. Now, I haven't had those dreams in a while, but lately it's been coming back to me because I got a feeling, just like I've been stating about these things that's going on and about to change, especially with 2020 coming around. Maybe it's something to consider, to think about what it is that you can do to be able to, number one, make sure that you're ingesting and making your environment conducive towards success, whatever it is that may be to you. And two, changing your reality by getting into those states, coming out of the beta state, going into the alpha and theta state, especially that alpha, because that's that state where you're kind of daydreaming, you're not quite asleep, and you're not, and of course it puts you into that, get you into that theta, where you can now change that and make it to whatever it is that you want to be. My time is running out, but I wanted to give this to you because I got it for me. I'm going to start using it for me, and whatever it does for me, I'm going to share it with you, because it doesn't mean no good if I can't give it to anyone else. Seed to the sower. I'm going to sow seed into you. Be able to get the energy that you need, to be able to do whatever it is you need to do, because you deserve it. I love you. This is the Energizer Coach. I'm out. Peace.